Ever wondered how to turn your foes into friends? The very idea seems paradoxical, doesn't it? After all, foes represent opposition, conflict, a clash of ideologies and desires. Yet history teaches us that even the most bitter rivalries can transform into alliances. How is this possible? The answer lies in part in the realm of dark psychology. Now, before you recoil at the term dark, remember, knowledge itself is neither good nor evil. It's the application of knowledge that determines its moral weight. Dark psychology delves into the intricate workings of human behavior, exploring the often unspoken levers of influence and persuasion. In this video, we'll embark on a journey to explore 7 powerful techniques rooted in dark psychology, each capable of shifting the dynamics of your relationships, potentially turning adversaries into allies. Have you ever noticed how people tend to gravitate towards those who are like them? It's a fundamental human tendency. We seek out familiarity, common ground, a sense of shared experience. Mirroring, in its essence, leverages this inherent desire for connection. It involves subtly mimicking the behavior, mannerisms, and even language patterns of the person you wish to influence. Now, this isn't about becoming a caricature, a blatant copycat. Subtlety is key. Perhaps you notice your counterpart uses certain phrases repeatedly, or favors a particular posture, or speaks at a certain pace. By subtly adopting these behaviors yourself, you create an unconscious sense of rapport. It's as if you're sending a signal. We're on the same wavelength, we see the world through the same lens. The human mind is incredibly sensitive to these nonverbal cues, and mirroring, when done effectively, can foster a sense of trust and connection, even in the face of initial resistance. Think about it this way. Imagine you're walking through a crowded room. You're bombarded with sights and sounds, a cacophony of stimuli. Suddenly you hear someone speaking in your native language, perhaps even with a familiar accent. Your attention is immediately drawn to them. A sense of comfort washes over you. Mirroring operates on a similar principle. It cuts through the noise of difference and creates a sense of familiarity, paving the way for deeper connection. Of course, like any tool, mirroring can be misused. If employed with malicious intent, it can be manipulative, a means of exploiting vulnerability. However, when used ethically, with the genuine goal of building bridges, mirroring can be a powerful force for good. It allows us to transcend differences, to find common ground, to build relationships on a foundation of shared understanding. Remember, the goal is not to deceive, but to connect. We all wear masks to some degree in our social interactions. Mirroring, in its most benevolent form, allows us to gently lower those masks, to reveal glimpses of our true selves, and to encourage others to do the same. The human experience is awash in emotions. They color our perceptions, shape our judgments, and drive our actions. To truly understand someone, to connect with them on a meaningful level, you need to tap into their emotional landscape. This is where emotional leverage comes into play. It's about recognizing and acknowledging the emotions of your foe, not dismissing or belittling them. Imagine, for instance, you're in a heated debate. Your opponent is entrenched in their position, their voice rising in anger. A direct counterargument, however logical, is likely to be met with further resistance. Instead, try acknowledging their emotional state. I understand that you feel strongly about this, and I respect your passion. By simply acknowledging their emotions, you create a space for de-escalation. You see, emotions are powerful drivers of behavior. When someone feels heard and understood, even if you don't agree with their viewpoint, a sense of trust can begin to emerge. This trust is the foundation upon which bridges can be built. It allows for the possibility of dialogue, of exploring differences without resorting to aggression. Think of it like navigating a minefield. Logic and reason are the metal detectors, helping you identify potential dangers. But emotions are the minds themselves, volatile and unpredictable. Emotional leverage is about carefully diffusing those minds, creating a safe passage forward. This doesn't mean you have to agree with your foe's emotions or even condone their behavior. It simply means acknowledging the reality of their emotional state. Doing so allows you to communicate on a deeper level, to transcend the realm of pure logic and tap into the very core of human experience. Remember, to influence someone, you must first understand them. And to understand someone, you must speak the language of their heart. Emotional leverage provides the vocabulary for that language, allowing you to navigate the complexities of human relationships with greater sensitivity and insight. In the realm of conflict, knowledge is your most potent weapon. To effectively disarm your foe, you must first understand them, their motivations, their fears, their strengths, and their weaknesses. This is where information gathering comes into play. It's about becoming a detective of sorts, carefully observing, listening, and piecing together the puzzle of your adversary. Start by paying attention to their words, both spoken and written. What are their core arguments? What language do they use? What values do they seem to prioritize? Look for patterns in their behavior, both in their interactions with you and with others. How do they react to challenges? What triggers their anger or defensiveness? Remember, information is not just about facts and figures, it's about understanding the underlying narrative that shapes your foe's worldview. What experiences have led them to their current beliefs? What wounds might they be carrying? What aspirations are they striving towards? The more you understand your adversary, the better equipped you are to anticipate their moves, to tailor your responses, and to find points of common ground. Think of it like a game of chess. Each piece has its own strengths and limitations, and to succeed, you need to understand how those pieces interact. Information gathering is about mapping out the chessboard of your foe's mind, identifying the key players and their potential moves. Of course, this process requires discretion and discernment. You're not looking to exploit vulnerabilities or to engage in malicious gossip. Your goal is to gain a deeper understanding, to see your foe not as a caricature, but as a complex human being with their own unique story. Remember, knowledge is power, but it's how you wield that power that determines its ethical implications. Information gathering, when used responsibly, can be a tool for empathy, for building bridges, and for finding solutions that benefit all parties involved. Conflict often arises from perceived incompatibility, a belief that one party's gain must come at the expense of the other. Incentive alignment challenges this zero-sum mentality, seeking instead to create win-win scenarios where both sides benefit. It's about identifying shared goals, aligning motivations, and demonstrating that cooperation can lead to mutual advantage. The key to incentive alignment lies in understanding your foe's desires and aspirations. What are they hoping to achieve? What are their underlying needs? Once you have a grasp of their motivations, you can start exploring ways to align those motivations with your own. This might involve reframing the conflict, shifting the focus from points of disagreement to areas of shared interest. For example, if you're locked in a business negotiation, instead of haggling over price, you might explore ways to increase the overall value proposition, creating a larger pie that benefits both parties. Incentive alignment can also involve identifying common enemies or challenges that require collaborative solutions. By working together to overcome a shared obstacle, foes can begin to see each other as allies, building trust and camaraderie through shared struggle. Think of it like two explorers navigating a treacherous jungle. They might have different destinations in mind, but they both need to survive the journey. By cooperating to overcome obstacles, they increase their chances of success. And in the process, they might even discover that their destinations are not so different after all. Remember, the goal of incentive alignment is not to trick your foe into doing something against their will, but to demonstrate that cooperation can lead to a better outcome for everyone involved. It's about highlighting the benefits of collaboration, fostering a sense of shared purpose, and building a foundation for lasting partnership. Human beings have an innate sense of fairness, a deep-seated desire for reciprocity. When someone does something for us, we feel compelled to repay the favor. This principle of reciprocity is at the heart of indebtedness, a powerful technique that can subtly shift the balance of power in your favor. The goal of indebtedness is not to manipulate or exploit, but to create a sense of obligation, a feeling that your foe owes you something. This can be achieved through acts of kindness, generosity, or even strategic concessions. For example, you might offer help with a task, provide valuable information, or make a sacrifice that benefits your foe. These actions, while seemingly selfless, create a subtle sense of indebtedness, a feeling that your foe should reciprocate in some way. This sense of obligation can then be leveraged to encourage cooperation, to elicit concessions, or to simply soften your foe's stance. It's important to note that indebtedness is not about brute force or coercion. It's about gently nudging the scales of reciprocity in your favor. Think of it like planting a seed. You nurture it with kindness and generosity, and over time it grows into a sense of obligation, a bond that connects you to your former foe. Of course, like any tool, indebtedness can be misused. If employed with manipulative intent, it can lead to resentment and distrust. However, when used ethically with the genuine goal of building bridges, indebtedness can be a powerful force for good. It allows us to move beyond transactional relationships to foster a sense of mutual obligation and to create a foundation for lasting friendship. We often perceive our foes as impenetrable fortresses, their defenses seemingly insurmountable. This perception can create a sense of distance, making dialogue and reconciliation feel impossible. Exposure and vulnerability challenge this perception, offering a glimpse behind the fortress walls, revealing the shared humanity that lies beneath. This technique involves strategically revealing your own weaknesses, sharing your struggles, and expressing your fears. By doing so, you create a sense of common ground, demonstrating that you too are vulnerable, that you too experience doubt and uncertainty. This act of vulnerability can be disarming, breaking down the barriers of perception and allowing your foe to see you as a fellow human being, not just an adversary. It can also create a sense of empathy, encouraging your foe to reciprocate with their own vulnerability, leading to a deeper understanding of each other's perspectives. Think of it like two warriors laying down their arms, meeting not as combatants but as fellow travelers on the road of life. By sharing their burdens, their fears, and their aspirations, they create a bond of shared experience, a recognition that they are more alike than different. Of course, vulnerability requires careful consideration and discernment. You're not looking to overshare or to burden your foe with your problems. The goal is to selectively reveal aspects of yourself that resonate with your foe's own experiences, creating a sense of connection and understanding. Remember, vulnerability is not weakness, it's a form of strength, a willingness to step outside the confines of your own ego and to connect with another human being on a deeper level. It's about building bridges of empathy, fostering trust, and creating a space for genuine reconciliation. The human spirit thrives on reciprocity. Kindness begets kindness, generosity inspires generosity, and trust fosters trust. This principle of reciprocity is the foundation upon which lasting relationships are built, and it's a powerful tool for transforming foes into friends. Reciprocity is about creating a virtuous cycle, a continuous exchange of positive actions that reinforce mutual goodwill. It's about responding to aggression with composure, to hostility with understanding, and to conflict with a willingness to find common ground. This doesn't mean condoning bad behavior or allowing yourself to be taken advantage of. It means choosing to respond in a way that promotes positive engagement, that encourages your foe to reciprocate with kindness and cooperation. Think of it like a dance, a graceful exchange of movements that create a harmonious whole. Each step, each gesture invites a response, creating a flow of energy that builds momentum towards mutual understanding. Reciprocity can manifest in countless ways: a kind word, a thoughtful gesture, a willingness to listen without judgment, a genuine effort to see the world from your foe's perspective. These small acts of kindness, when consistently practiced, can have a profound impact, gradually chipping away at the walls of animosity and paving the way for genuine connection. Remember, reciprocity is not about keeping score or expecting immediate results. It's about planting seeds of kindness, nurturing them with patience and understanding, and trusting that in time they will blossom into something beautiful. The journey from foe to friend is rarely easy. It requires patience, understanding, and a willingness to look beyond surface-level conflicts. The techniques we've explored offer a roadmap for navigating this challenging terrain, but they are merely tools. Their effectiveness hinges on your intention, your willingness to use them ethically, and your genuine desire to build bridges of understanding. Remember, the goal is not to manipulate or control, but to connect, to understand, and to find common ground. These techniques, when wielded responsibly, can help you transform adversaries into allies, fostering a world where cooperation triumphs over conflict. Continue exploring the intricacies of human behavior, delve deeper into the realm of psychology, and equip yourself with the knowledge to navigate the complexities of human relationships. Remember, the power to influence is a double-edged sword. Wield it with wisdom, with compassion, and with a steadfast commitment to ethical conduct. Subscribe to this channel for more insights into the human condition, and join me as we continue to explore the fascinating world of psychology.